Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. No card reviews today, but I wanted to talk about a topic that's been on my mind for a bit. Is there a problem in Hearthstone kind of card design that we haven't really been talking about? I'm not talking about mana cheat, I'm not talking about random. I'm talking about something very specific, and we'll get into it in a second. I just did want to throw out a friendly reminder out there for all of you that we have a giveaway going on for the latest set. It's going on until all the cards are revealed. I'm giving away 3 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below for every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed. I'm adding another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. And before I get into the topic, sorry to have you guys holding on like, oh, what's he gonna talk about? I mean, you might be like that. I just want to clarify on this card, Photographer Fizzle. When I quickly reviewed it when it came out, I did not realize I said that it would shuffle your cannon to your deck and it would be like a good fatigue card. The thing is, you actually shuffle the actual snapshot. It's like a 2-mana spell, and then you can play it and refill your hand. So that's pretty cool. It'll actually be, I think, a little bit better. Still don't think it's gonna be like a meta card, but the design's really sweet, so I wanted to throw that out there. But the topic I wanted to talk about is a mechanic that we don't really ever see brought up, that I have been seeing cards more and more, creating more and more problems in the game, and that's tutoring. I feel like tutoring is something that wasn't very common in like old Hearthstone, where what a tutor means is you're basically tutoring out, you're getting out a specific thing. So when we take a look at instrument tech, you are tutoring out a weapon from your deck. Battle Cry, you draw a weapon. And when you have cards like this that you can tutor an effect, all of a sudden, you can make your deck more predictable. You can make it more consistent. And that could create problems for, I mean, example, people are really worried about, we don't know if this will be busted or not, but people are really worried about with instrument tech, Twig, right? You draw a Twig reliably in WoW with Druid. You draw a Seer's Fabians, and you do that combo, which is just disgusting, right? Like, you get 10 mana, and you have Guff up, you can get up to 20 mana by turns 5 and 6. I've done it. It's gross. And yeah, like, this is a card that can help enable it, but we have seen this pop up in a lot of problematic decks over the years. I think one of the earliest examples I can specifically remember is Juicy Psych Melon. This card saw like no play in Standard. It's almost its entire run. It was thrown in Boomsday Project, so years and years ago. We draw a 7, 8, 9, cost 10 mini from your deck, and all of a sudden, oh, you could draw Azalina, which was 7. You could draw Togwelgel, which is 8. You could get Aviana, which at the time was 9, and Kun 10. It literally drew your combo. Run 2 copies of this card, you won. You had Star Aligner as well as the more consistent of the combos because you just literally killed your opponent. All these cards existed before this, but because you had such a consistent tutor, that became busted. Instead of nerfing Psychomel because it was an unplayable standard card, they nerfed Aviana, which I am still bitter about because I love my Aviana, but we see it more and more. There's examples of tutor cards that actually got nerfed as well, with like Raiding Party. Would draw 2 specific pirates from your deck and a weapon. Could couple that with like a Kingsbane and Wilder, just I think at the time it was like Waggle Pick or Scimitar, things like that. That this card got nerfed, although I can't remember if Prep did -3 at the time. It got bumped to 4. Now it's back to 3 and sees like no play, despite the fact that Pirate Rogue is really good and wild. Just shows how the game goes, but you can see how like a tutorable effect like this, again, made things really powerful. Again, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Well, at times it could create problems. Another card that doesn't get talked a lot about, but has really been a problematic card, Shroud of Concealment for Rogue. Draw 2 minions, even though it's just minions. That specific tutor, which again, didn't really exist outside of like what, Sense Demons in like basic, you would draw specific demons, nothing really that crazy, although that card kind of became problematic later as, yeah, like, I don't know, Stealer of Souls and all of that, tutoring out, doing all of that, or Void Caller to Void Lord too, right? So just as an example, but Shroud of Concealment has allowed so many of these like combo decks to work in Rogue, where you just can always reliably. Why is Pillager Rogue a problem? Well, because you always draw the pieces. You get Shroud of Concealment, you get those cards, you have all the other card draw to go with it, where you have a lot of tutor effects that didn't really used to exist, and you're seeing it more and more. Another one that got nerfed at one point, although not exactly completely a tutor, but you know, kind of does similar thing, was Lorekeeper Polkeld. It reordered your deck from highest card to lowest, and all of a sudden you're playing Shadow Reaper Anduin into Psychic Scream, into Reno, into Raza, right? That was a problem in Wild, and in Standard it was like Dino Tamer Bran at the time. Again, these cards make things so much more consistent, and card games kind of balance a lot of their RNG, right? A lot of card game balance comes to the fact that you're not going to draw your powerful card. You're not going to draw your specific combo as reliably, but more and more and more, we're seeing cards that tutor and create these problems. Another example, this was basically, again, restricted to Wild, was Sanctum Chandler, always tutoring out your Ignite. You could go Infinite Ignite with Apprentice, which led to Apprentice getting nerfed, right? This was the card at the end of the day, alongside Quest Mage, that led to that happening. Although, I don't disagree with that nerf whatsoever as someone who has played like a bajillion games of Apprentice, but it's just an interesting topic. Do I think tutor cards are bad? No, but I do see them being being used more and more and more, and I feel like the consequences are real of those cards, of making decks more consistent, in particular with combos, high impact cards. And again, if you look at the set, there's plenty of examples of it already just within neutrals. We have Metronome. After you play a 1-cost card, draw a 2-cost card that increase. You can kind of specifically build your deck around to abuse it. This is more of like something that's way probably healthier, but another example of a tutor effect. And I would like to highlight one that's probably not going to be problematic, right? You just draw some cards. I doubt this sees much play, but it is another tutor effect. And again, of course, we have that card that is going to draw a specific weapon. And this, I guess it gets scarier when you tutor out effects that could be potentially really powerful. Your highest cost card, a specific card like a weapon, when legendary weapons exist in the game, or the new rogue weapon, right? That you really want to draw early to get that combo ability, to get that, you know, high roll possible OTK or whatever you're going to do. So I'm very curious to hear what your guys' take. Again, I'm not against tutorable cards, but I do feel like it has been an underlying issue of why a lot of these cards, or a lot of these, you know, things have felt very streamlined. We saw that with the quest lines in particular. Like the quest line, Sorcerer's Gambit, you cast a Fire Frost Arcade spell first, you're actually tutoring this into your opening hand, a quest, which will then draw you multiple cards. Each quest line phase, you draw a spell, you're tutoring out a spell, and then you get to discover, I think, either a spell or a card from your deck, then you get this. But again, getting that streamlined consistency, remember how powerful that was when it wasn't nerfed and all of that. So again, just curious what you guys have to say about it. Again, not like some crazy problem thing, I'm not raging or anything, but I just thought it was an interesting topic that, yeah, maybe there's a bit of a problem with making such effective cheap tutors for things, and you can provide other examples in the comments below of ones you think maybe have been problematic or have been really cool for the game, exciting for the game, because those exist as well. And it's just, yeah, interesting topic. We'll catch you up tomorrow. There'll be more card reviews probably all week. We're gonna be doing card reviews. I'll get you news updates if there's anything coming up in the meantime. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.